Yeah, for real.
I live.
Straws hairs here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Smokin.
That's right. It's kneecap biting with Smokin Jeremy B. I'm here with my buddies DC8091 and Will Vogel because kneecap biting with Smokin Jeremy B is also being presented by Sideline Sports Network with Will Vogel, who is also a part of that. He is a Panthers fan and a pseudo Lions fan because he hears so much about the Lions, and he's jumping on board. We have another one of them joining us in a little bit, which is Dan Leonard. That being said, what did you guys think of the game this past Sunday? Go ahead, DC.
Our defensive front seven was awesome. I mean, they could have literally called a holding, if not flat out assault and battery charge on all of that fucking offensive line because they were just getting schooled by our front seven. Our front seven,
You mean
nailed it.
led by this guy? Led by this guy?
Yep, led by that guy. Number 54, McNeil, was causing all sorts of chaos. And Alex Anzalone, who, holy shit, the text that Pike sent me today, Alex deserves a Pro Bowl. The only guy with 100 tackles, interception, forced fumble recoveries. He's killing all NFL linebackers right now. Alex Anzalone is a fucking man.
Yep. Will, what did you think of the game on Sunday?
It was crazy. I've told people this for weeks. Lions are probably the team that is underestimated and no one thought was going to be in the playoffs this year, and they are a sneaky good team. Look at Aiden Hutchinson. This guy's already looking like a veteran out there. This guy is on his way, in my opinion, to be the rookie of the year. I know you got Wolin and you got other guys, but in my eyes, it's Aiden Hutchinson. And then Jared Goff is looking like Jared Goff when he led the Rams to the Super Bowl. Sure, they didn't win that Super Bowl, but he still looks great. Jamison Williams had a good game where he scored a touchdown. Very awesome to see that. Love Amon-Ra St. Brown. Love Penei Sewell, especially him catching that ball. But I tell people, Penei Sewell, I know this is really high praise. I can kind of see him being the next Anthony Munoz. I can kind of see it because of how great he was and the sustainability he has. And this team is no slouch. Beating the Vikings, they're no slouch of a team. They've been good and they've been bad. They've been good and bad. Like I said, they've had some lucky wins, like against the Bills. But, like I said, do not count this Detroit Lions team out. And my team, the Panthers, we played them in 2 weeks. And at first I was like, okay, this is going to be a mediocre game. Maybe the Lions will win by a touchdown. Panthers-Lions game is going to be a good one.
Yep.
I agree. That being said, you guys have touched on a few of the players. The hot players, I have to give it to the O-line and the front seven.
Yep.
To me, that was the hottest part. DJ Shark, Josh Reynolds, Amon Ra, and Justin Jackson. Kudos to them. You got to give credit to CJ Moore. That 42-yard fake punt run was freaking amazing. And Panay Sewell, out of all the O line, he had to be the hottest of the bunch because when he lined up as as a receiving eligible tackle, you know what I really thought was going to happen? It was going to turn into a wham to the right. I thought for sure that he was going to go and cut up and take out that Kendricks, who had been stopping
Yep.
Jamal all day. I thought that's what was going to happen. And all of a sudden, I seen him go out in the flat. And when that pass went to him, what I loved was he high pointed the ball like a wide receiver. He he jumped up, caught it, he got to the sticks, and he says, "Oh crap, here they come!" Falls down to make sure he stayed in bounds and got kept the clock going. That was a very key play. Very
Damn
good
right.
awareness and clock management by Panay Sewell. And right now, I believe it says Lions Talk by Chat Sports. This is Mike Kimber, also formerly known as Micro Mike. How you doing out there, Mike? What up, though,
All
to
right, Mike.
you? What an amazing game we had yesterday. Let's speak about Jared Goff for a minute. He is seventh in yardage. Yeah, I'll get to that in a second, Mike. He's seventh in yardage. He's tied for fifth in touchdowns. He's 14th in interceptions with 7. Um, with Matt Stafford at least missing this year and most of next year, from what I'm hearing with what his injury is. That's if he does therapy instead of surgery. Short term, Rams won because they got the Super Bowl. Midterm, you have to say the Lions are winning because Goff is playing and playing better than Matthew Stafford has when he was playing, and now he's
Easily.
injured. Long term, it remains to be seen. It depends on if the end game is what we think it could be going forward. And Mr. Kimber comes in and says Panay Sewell had more yards than Jalen Rieger. Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Why? Because Jalen Rieger catches and he goes, win-win trade for both teams. I'm looking at it like the baseball trades that you hear about all the time. They always look at it in the short term, the midterm, and the long term. It's a 3-part with every trade. In the short term, the Rams won. They got their Super Bowl. We had an abysmal year until like the last 6 games of the year. Does anybody disagree with that?
No, you can't.
Okay. So then, fast forward to this year. Yeah, we struggled the first 7 games with all the injuries and everything else, and people just coming back and they were getting their feet wet. We had to fire our defensive passing game coordinator and defensive back coach, Aubrey Pleasant. All of a sudden, the switch was flipped. The defensive backs look like they're having fun and actually playing the game, being more reactive. It looks like they're less confused on the field overall. And Amani Oruwariye and Mike Hughes looked as lost against Justin Jefferson as a babe in the woods. That being said, what I do like that they did against Justin Jefferson, even though he got open and was able to run, he wasn't able to score touchdowns because
Yep.
we kept the safeties back to tackle him before he could get to an end zone. They had to score their points in other ways. And the way they usually score their points is Dalvin Cook, who had 1 touchdown for 5 yards, a total of 23 yards on 15 carries for 1.5 per carry.
That bitch
A,
was scared.
a career low for Dalvin Cook. And Alex Madison, the very capable backup that everybody says, oh, he actually runs better than Dalvin Cook when Dalvin Cook's off. He had 2 carries for -1 yards.
Yep. I'm
Not a
eating
good
crow over knocking the 4-2 because now that without Aubrey Pleasant and whatever changes they made, Alex and Malcolm are killing it. Dalvin Cook looks fucking scared. He did not want to lower his shoulder. He did not want to run at anybody. He was fucking
It was
scared.
after that fumble in the second quarter. He ran different. As soon as
Yep.
he fumbled that ball, he ran different. It was the same thing in the first game. Because remember, he had like 90 some yards in that game, and then he fumbled in that third quarter. And then Dalvin Cook didn't look the same.
Yep. I mean, hell, I would even go to the touchdown he scored with Deshaun Elliott. He didn't want to lower his shoulder against Deshaun Elliott. He would have lost that
No,
battle.
and he
He knew
didn't have
he
to.
knew it.
That little cutback he did broke Deshaun Elliott's ankles. Come on now. He fell over sideways trying to run the other way from his body.
But
His
yeah,
legs were still going one way while his body went the other.
if you're a power back, you look for contact. And a
I
power
know.
back would have lowered his shoulder and won that battle. And Cook knew he wasn't going to win that battle against Deshaun Elliott.
Mr. Kimber, Mike there, still would draft a QB like Brock Purdy for the 49ers because injuries happen. Absolutely. I want you to look up two guys for me. Grayson McCall of Coastal Carolina and the guy known as DTR because I can't remember his name, but he plays for UCLA. Both those guys are fifth-year seniors coming out in this draft, but DTR has only played like 3 seasons,
I like
and he
Grayson
looks
McCall.
really good. I
Here's
love Grayson McCall.
I live in North Carolina, and I don't go to Coastal Games. They're in South Carolina, actually. But I've seen clips like him against in like their conference championship against Appalachian State and stuff. He is legitly good. Sure, he's not playing the Alabamas, the Georgias, the LSUs, the high good schools, but this guy legitly is good for what he's at.
Another guy I like that could be a 5th rounder later steal because he doesn't have elite speed, but he's not slow. He receives well out of the backfield. He also likes to block in passing situations as well as receive. Eric Gray out of Oklahoma. I like him. If you want a big bruising back, I like Rashawn Johnson, the backup to Bijan Robinson in Texas.
Yep.
The kid's had 1 fumble since his junior year of high school, and it just happened this year. Another guy I like, he's fast as crap, and I wish Brendan Cook was in the chat right now because he would be able to rattle his name off.
What college?
Keenet. His name is Keenet. I can't remember what college he plays for. Keenet, and the last name starts with an M. Oh, but the kid has been clocked at 0.1 miles per hour slower than Jamison Williams.
Wow.
Nice.
By GPS. So that is a very, very fast and electric running back.
Right?
That's on the field because all college players have a GPS chip in their helmet. That's how they are able to give the speed because it goes by the GPS thing. And it's off by 0.1 miles per hour, just like it is when you're in your car.
Yep. Makes a difference in your drag racing.
Oh, yeah. 0.1's a tenth of a second.
The only quarterback I want us to pick is I want Randall L to pick him. I want Randall L to pick the quarterback and says this is a guy that can play all positions and fill in as a backup quarterback when needed. Randall L was a quarterback before he changed to a wide receiver. Give us a gadget player and a gadget player that could eventually play the backup quarterback if we needed, but let Randall L groom him.
My cold players, my big 3, Amani Oruwariye, Mike Hughes, and the entire Minnesota Vikings defense.
Yep. They're missing Harrison Smith badly.
Oh, that's why Jamison Williams is so wide open. Everybody says, oh, he stopped to wait for the ball. I said, no, he stopped and waved because he was wide open to tell Goff to throw it to him.
Yeah.
And he was literally standing there looking around like, hey, I'm open.
Look, all you need to do is play one game of backyard football and know you don't gun that ball on a dart when they're that wide open.
No, you lob it in so they can make sure it's
throw the most catchable ball possible, which is exactly what Goff did.
Yeah.
He goes, couldn't tell 100% because it was in the background. Maybe it didn't affect the play a lot, but was that JMO who totally erased one of the safeties on Jackson's touchdown? Yes. They used Jackson about 20, I think it was 17 snaps, and I said he'd probably get 10 to 20 snaps this game because they're easing him in because he's not in game shape yet. And for them to use him on that big play right off the bat, off that play action that everybody and their brother bid on, because even the safety ran up to tackle the running back,
Yep.
the one that was supposed to be back in coverage.
Yep.
Yep.
And by the time he realized Jamison Williams was behind him, he was at the 5 waiting for the football.
Yep, it was that, and it was Amari. It was Amari being a decoy. He was
and you
more
can
worried about
watch.
Amari than Jameson.
The thing is if you watched, Jamison didn't even have to run fast to get there.
Nope.
He was almost at a jog the last 5 yards of that route where he stopped. And he just kind of long stepped his way in quickly from 4 yards out. That was pretty amazing.
Jesus, I almost think I could complete that pass. God damn.
I don't know if I can throw it 40. I don't know if I could throw it 40 yards down the field, but if somebody was that wide open at 20 yards down the field, I could hit them. I'm sorry, I'm a dink and dunk quarterback at my age.
That's a slight exaggeration, but I mean, he was completely wide open. That safety bit on everything. I mean, shit, I almost feel sorry for that safety, but what else is he going to do?
Not that it would have affected the outcome, but the Vikings rather obviously missed Agent Smith yesterday. Yes, they did. As much as I hate to say it, because I don't wish injury on anybody, when I saw he was on the injury report that morning, I was like, oh, we are winning this game no matter what. Not just because Jalen Reagor pissed off the entire Lions team by being a 5th wide receiver on the depth chart and a special teams player, but to call everybody out like he did.
I mean,
he's been
James Burgess said same here.
He's been a headache since he was in Philadelphia.
I mean, they were happy to dump him for a 6th round pick. Here, take our first round bust.
Yep.
He's the only thing he's good at is punt returns. Because if you watch him try to catch a fast pass, and I said this analogy on Fire Up Michigan earlier with my publisher, Scott Morganroth. I said, watch Jalen Reagor try to catch a pass. It looks like he's wearing the gauntlets of Thanos with hands the size of the Hulk. Smash! The ball goes away.
You're not wrong.
He has Bucky's arm.
Yeah, James Burgess, I still can't believe Philly got something for that bustoid.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know if Philly loses another game this season. If they do, it might be against Dallas.
That's true. I agree. But Dallas also looked really, really suspect. They looked really more suspect yesterday.
They look more sus than the women at a Houston gay bar.
That's true. That's true.
DC just lost it.
Yeah, no, they looked bad, and they should not have won that game.
By the way, 6 games this season out of the 13 that have been played by Dallas, Dak Prescott has thrown 2 interceptions. Now, mind you, he didn't play for 5 games when Cooper Rush went 4-1.
Yep.
So let's see. They played 13 games. 6 of them were bad. Because I don't care if you got 3 touchdowns if you throw 2 picks.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So that means right now
1 touchdown.
Wait, 6 games of 2 picks. That's 12 picks, isn't it?
Yep.
Eye test. Who's better between Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, and Jared Goff?
Goff, easily.
It's probably Goff, then Cousins, then Dak.
Shockingly enough, you guys are right.
Easily.
I mean, dead on the money. And you got the order right, but I almost, because of its athleticism, would put Dak slightly above Cousins.
Yeah, I can see it.
Because even though he broke his leg 2 seasons ago, he's still willing to get out there and run for a first down if the coverage is broken.
That is true. That is true.
Kirk Cousins has the mobility of a
Speaking
snail
of the
sitting on top of a rock, baking in the sun without a shell.
speaking of the Lions game, they're showing it replays of it on the halftime report for the.
Uh-oh.
They showed Schul's touch the catch. Gotta love that.
I mean, he high pointed the ball. He jumped up, caught it up, pulled it in like he was
Yep.
supposed to, ran to the sticks, fell down. It was brilliant.
Yep.
And that just shows the athleticism of Sewell, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what did
Hey, by
Cal
the
say to
way,
be a
if
tight
you
end if
add
you
the
lost
touch
200 pounds?
if you add the touchdown receptions between Taylor Decker and Sewell, it's still more than the touchdown receptions Kenny Galladay's had for the Giants.
Very true.
Where's Leonard?
I know. I had to say it because I know he's if he isn't in here, he just walking.
If he's
Just
not
a
gonna be
rumor, but I
around.
heard Panay Sewell self-identifies as a tight end.
We can't let that leak.
If I ever see, here's the crazy thing: if we ever did get some really good backups at tackle, wouldn't that be crazy? At tight ends, you see James Mitchell, Taylor Decker, and Panay Sewell on the goal
That would
line.
be
Yep.
fun. That would be funny.
Tackle eligible, number
I
58.
said, as well as he ran for that 8-yard catch, line him up at fullback in the goal line to make a hole for Jamal.
Refrigerator Perry esque.
I'm sure they'll go. And also, if Cabinda ain't here next year, Rodriguez is going to be our fullback.
We may. I'd like to make a deal with a team to get one. He goes fullback plunge time there.
Yeah.
Plunge even. Because he did spell it wrong. He spelled plunge. I don't know what a plunge is.
I don't know either.
Let's try to figure that one out. No, that being said, what an amazing thing. Here's the key stats to the game, and what I thought was the key stats. The Lions had 134 rushing. And although that doesn't sound like a lot, especially when 42 came off of a fake punt return, or fake punt, but it was 112 yards more than what the Vikings had total as a team.
Yeah, with their bill called Devin Cook, who got
Yeah.
DDT'd by
And the other,
Anzalone.
and that was great. I called that I said, holy shit, it was a DDT. It was a tilt-a-whirl DDT he just did. He came around the one shoulder, he flipped over, grabbed him like this, and boom.
Yep.
Everybody says,
Oh,
tilt-a-whirl, what do you mean? I said, he spun over the guy's back, put him in a headlock, and dropped him to the ground.
that was brutal.
And Comiskey, you can say Aleem, but Comiskey
Oh.
was a problem.
Miskey was
James
nasty.
Houston.
Miskey was nasty.
Oh, look at this. Jared Goff, I'm your QB. No debate. I said that. Yeah, one team could run a bit, the other couldn't. No shock who wins.
Yep.
Yeah.
Minnesota couldn't
That
run
being
against
said,
the 4-2.
What do you think of that beautiful jersey right there?
Nice.
Beautiful. Nice.
I picked that up Friday from our buddy Dom.
Nice.
The Hutch.
The Hutch.
Yeah, if he didn't get
Does he
rookie
have
of
a
the year,
No, he does not. He should. But, he's a Michigan State fan, not a Michigan fan, so he probably still salty.
Yeah. I don't even have a current Panther jersey. The current guy I have most recent is Keekly.
Oh, Kickly.
Rico Beard asked, "Does DC 8091 smoke and drink every day?" God damn. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, he does.
That sounds like a good life to me.
because I'm a real man, you fucking pothead. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
stop it. Stop. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Let's. I'm honored to say that I'm now a part of Sideline Sports. I am honored to say I am a
Right.
published editor for the South Florida Tribune under the Motor City Tribune paper. I, my life has changed so much since I started this podcast for the better. And I want to thank the fans, my fans that watch the show, the people that come on, the commenters, all of you. I've made it to 191 subscribers in 10 months. 10 months in a
Nice.
week.
Damn.
Nice.
Oh yeah, bro.
And
You kick
lo and
ass, man.
behold, hey, Rico Beard, despite what you and Valenti think, and the rest of the haters except for Wojo there at 97 won the ticket, because Wojo's actually been on this same thing that Herm Edwards said this morning on the morning show on ESPN radio. Herm Edwards is asked, out of Seattle, Lions, Washington, and Giants. He said, Seattle and Lions. He didn't even have to
Yep.
think.
I think Seattle may run into a hiccup, in my opinion, because you
Um,
still maybe a
I'm
little
not
bit
the
of a
one that
defense.
said to fire you. There was a lot of people on my podcast that said to fire you.
I didn't.
I said, Dan Campbell doesn't fire main coaches in season. He'll strip them of their play calling duties. I said they might do that, but it didn't happen. The one that deserved to be fired is gone, and there's a difference.
Absolutely.
So you guys can say what you want, but don't put words in my mouth. My fans and my guests may have said it, but I haven't.
I didn't say it.
I
I
didn't
never
say
said to
crap.
fire him.
Oh, you haven't been on, but what? This is your second show you've done on my podcast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were on for my NFC South preview.
Yep. And I'll be
I
on your show
remember.
on Wednesday.
Yeah, and if you want, you are a permanent guest on that show on Wednesdays if you want.
I'm down.
Yeah, because I'm going to go live at 8 o'clock every night. We're going to go through the three top stories, like I said. We're going to give our thoughts on it. And I like having fans of other teams because you'll put the word out with
Yeah,
your
and
fans and say, hey,
like I said, I'll do preview, like injury report, what happened the previous week for the matchup, and like prediction. Oh,
enjoy
gosh.
it while you can. I'm coming.
Matt
Yeah,
Eberflus.
no. When are you coming? I think you already went. I think you premature ejaculated in the first game of the season.
Matt Eberflus. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm going to call you what I called you at the beginning of the season, Matt Eberflus.
Finally
I
got
dropped
laid
the
and
F.
he blows his load too soon. Couldn't resist.
Oh, Coach Matt Eberflus. Love it. You should tell your wide receivers that are fifth or special teamers to keep their damn mouth shut.
Yep.
No, fuck them. Let them run their mouths more. I mean, what they're going to do, cry and get a taunting penalty like the Vikings guy did. Well, here at my feelings, we need a 15-yard penalty for taunting.
Here he comes. The Giants fan who lives in Michigan. I'm not impressed, guys. You never
Who
are.
gives a fuck?
Well, most folks who actually watch and understand how it works knows that a young team like the Lions are going to be better than a 6, 8, 10 games and because they are still learning up.
Damn right.
Absolutely. I love it when somebody comes in and goes, "We're not winning this game, guys," and we win. I'm not impressed. Since 5-1 in 6 games, why are you not impressed?
Yeah, how are you not impressed?
I'm
I
asking.
agree.
I'm asking for a legit reason why you're not impressed,
Yeah, I would
other
ask
than
the same
you
thing.
being a hater.
Yeah, they like the drama. That's it. That's why they make their fake accounts.
Shock Jock Radio talk show host. Hey guys, let's talk about the last time the Lions won a championship. That's the last time they were relevant. Seems funny.
Yep.
National media saying more about positive things about the Lions than our own show that plays the damn game in Detroit.
Oh, fuck them
And
all.
I think that's sad. I think it's sad.
I just say fuck them all. I
I
mean,
don't
just
like
ignore them.
commentators who are like, "Oh, and we got this game where we're maybe gonna win." I'm like,
Man, why
"You
why do
hear?"
we why couldn't we have a real Ryan on here like Ryan Reynolds? Because Ryan Poles sounds like a stripper pole with the name of Ryan.
Yeah. What are you, a gay stripper? I mean, Jesus Christ.
We're relevant in Minnesota today. I think Delvin Cook thinks our defense is relevant.
Yeah,
That
Dalvin's
bitch
probably
is
like,
scared.
"Oh, Dalvin's probably like, oh God." Dalvin Cook probably looks under his bed for the Detroit Lions defense before he goes to bed at night.
Oh yeah, he's scared of blonde hair right now.
As soon as his head hits the pillow and his eyes start to relax, he wakes up and goes, "Mama!"
Man, Bugs did play a hellacious game. Bugs was on fire when he was
Bugs,
in there. Holy
McNeil,
shit.
Comiskey,
Yep.
Hutchinson, Anzalone. Barnes had a great play behind the line in the run game.
Pascal Houston, they all did awesome.
Elliott was doing great until he damn near broke his ankles. He looked a little off for about a quarter after that. Then he started playing like Elliott again. Uh, Joseph started out rough and came on strong towards the end of the game. He had a
Yep.
couple of blown coverages. Uh,
And Mike Hughes also had a hellacious game or had hellacious plays in that game. He had some
he
bad
had
plays, but he
hellacious
had a
plays,
hellacious
but he
game.
had he. Rod Marinelli, you went 0-16. Stop it.
No, Dan Campbell, he could do better. This team's on the rise, man. This team's on the rise. I'm not a fan, not a huge, like, I'm not a real Lions fan, but I know that team is rising up.
Aside from the sacks, how many tackles for loss? Speaking of Delphin, I counted at least 12 tackles
A
for
lot.
loss.
Yep.
Because the one, Alex Madison had 2 carries. The one netted him 3 yards. The next one made it so he had -1. So he was hit like 4 yards behind the line. He was hit so hard, I think his tongue slapped the back of his brain.
Damn right. They may have had an injury or two on their offensive line, but fuck it, we've had injuries or two on our offensive line for the past 3 years. So I don't want to hear that shit if you're going to say injuries don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see. How many games in the season? 13. So 12 games in, 29 straight games without the starting O line being intact.
Yep,
Wow.
and we're still one of the better ranked offensive lines in football.
James Houston says, I am going the fuck off Sunday. 3 sacks. You better.
Yeah,
I'm
James
just kidding.
Houston. Who do you
James
guys play?
Houston,
The
we play the
Jets?
Jets, who
Yeah.
have O line issues due to injury. Right?
Cold weather, fuck it. We're
Is
from
it
Michigan.
Mekhi
We're fine.
Becton? Mekhi Becton's been hurt. Who's the other one that's been hurt?
I have no clue.
And James Burgess says, yeah, I think Dalvin was slower as the game went on. Slower? He was non-existent.
He was scared.
Well, once we got to the second half and it was 14-7, and then we went up another touchdown and they had to play catch up, I knew there was no more running going to happen.
Yep. They couldn't. Their running wasn't working. I mean, their running was working. It may
If
have
your
done something,
running
but
game doesn't
shut
work,
it down.
then why keep trying it? Go through the air.
Right. They went through the air, and it wasn't horrible. I mean, he had a great game for yardage through the air. I mean, in all actuality, Kirk Cousins had a good game. It just wasn't good enough.
Huh. It's kind of funny that we sat there and said, "Okay, let Jefferson catch it," and Okuda, he was probably still sick or whatever injury he had.
Oh
I
yeah, he was
mean,
still sick. You could see it, man. As soon as
yep,
before the game even started, they did a close up on Akuda talking about him and how he's had this comeback this year. And every game, whether no matter the channel, they do that. They talk about how he's having a great comeback. Detroit
yep. I mean,
Lions forum, Goff is MVP.
I mean,
Ian,
David Pike. David Pike does not make statements like that. He says he should be, but he's not because the record isn't right yet. And he's absolutely right. But there are three awards that I think Lions players can get possibly right now. Two of them are for most improved player. One is offense, one is defense.
yep,
Jared Goff and Jeff Okuda.
yep. I mean, right now,
The other one, defensive rookie of the year. I
right,
think that's the one that's a lock. The other award that might happen if we get to 10-7, if we win out, and I'm not saying we will. I said if because it's a definite possibility. Because any given Sunday, any team can win. Dan Campbell gets Coach of the Year if we go 10-7.
I can see it.
easily.
And then for most improved, I agree. I can see golf. Defensive player of the year, I would love to see Hutchinson get it, but you got Tyreek Woolen, who he's great, but you know what? Trayvon Diggs had a great rookie year, but you know what? Where is he this year? Just saying. Give me Aiden
Trayvon
Hutchinson.
Diggs actually is having a better year defensively without the interceptions because he's actually playing coverage better. The QBR is down by over 25 points from last year on him. The yards are down by, I think, 300 from what it was at this time last year. That's a huge improvement.
Yeah, true. But
Because last
I
year,
would
he was
definitely,
just, last year, he was Marcus Peters 2.0.
but I would love to see um Hutchinson win it for sure.
Oh, I mean, let's face it. He has more pressures than the entire D line of the Chicago Bears.
Yep.
Yep.
Because
I'd
Quinn's
also
don't
ask
count
what
because he's traded. He has 44 now, I think it was, because he had 6 pressures yesterday. He had 1 sack that was credited because they ended up taking him down to 1 sack because both of them were half sacks. So with
I
one
would throw
sack instead of two,
or 2 half
he's at
sacks.
6. Yeah.
I mean, two
Oh,
half
he's
sacks
just
mean
gonna.
you hit the
I'm calling it
quarterback
right
twice
now.
instead of
He's
once.
gonna have 2 sacks next week against the Jets. Same with Houston.
He, oh, and let's not even think about what would happen if Pascal and Romeo start getting into game speed again.
Yep.
Because we haven't seen Pascal play full strength since his first week, and he made a difference. He was one of the reasons why Hutch had sacks in that Bears game.
Exactly. So people need to block them, and if they don't, they're fucked.
And our buddy Grindizer does the touchdown song for the Lions. You know, forward down the field, a charging team that never yields. Stand and cheer when the blue and silver wave. Stand and cheer the brave. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, ball hawking Kirby took one of the fumbles. Yes, he did.
Yeah, right.
So what?
I mean,
He's
I
got
look.
2 forced fumbles. He's got 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, and 3 interceptions. Yeah, he's not even in the top 5 for defensive rookie of the year, and I don't get it.
Well, he didn't play the first 4 games or whatever that was, but yeah, even then, still, I mean, I wouldn't take him. I wouldn't take any other rookie safety over Kirby at all. I'll take Kirby over all of them.
Comiskey came back that game too. Kirby's a playmaker, can't sit playmakers. Absolutely, I didn't say sit him, but he was sitting in the beginning because Tracy Walker was playing the first 4 games, and then he got hurt. Good evening, gents. Victory Monday. How sweet it is. It's like
Right.
the air, but it's a little sweeter. You got a little pep in your step, a little whistle in your tune.
Yep.
And did the Panthers pull off the upset last night?
Yes, we did.
Yes. Who'd you beat?
Seattle.
Oh, that's even better.
Gino had,
Keep it up.
I think he had 3 touchdowns, 2 picks.
Oh, good. So he might even have more picks than Goff now.
I don't know. I haven't looked.
Plus, it's his second year playing defense. And Grandizer says yes. And he says, what brings out the maniac in you from Tim's Maniac Sports? Kitty goes growl.
Whenever the Lions are playing like the MGM Lion.
In all actuality, what I've seen lately out of the Lions, in Grandizer 12, yes, indeed. You know what this team's starting to remind me of? 1999 Rams without Marshall Faulk.
I can see it.
They're airing it out well. They're running, but as a committee, well. They're playing good defense, and they're winning close games.
I almost say the 99 Patriots.
No, that would have been the 2000 Patriots when they won it.
Oh, 2000 Patriots, yeah.
I'm talking about. I don't want to even think. Don't compare us to that. And you know why I say don't compare us to that? Because the starting quarterback went out for their. No, the starting quarterback had to go out for the season in order for them to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, touche.
And a long time comes around a guy named Tom Patrick.
I'm talking about we had a guy that was cast away by his coach.
Yep. Shows why you shouldn't hire kids out of high school to be your head coach.
He wasn't out of high school, but I get the analogy.
Oh, God, he's what, 20? Fuck McVay.
McVay? McVay's like 36, 37.
I like McVay.
I mean,
a lot,
he's still
actually.
way too fucking young.
I'm a huge fan of McVay.
Also, and I understand the transitive property doesn't apply, but we clobbered Jacksonville. They turned around and smoked the Titans, so the Jacksonville win matters. Absolutely.
Yeah, Titans.
And James Hennessy says if Swift stayed healthy, he would be very similar to Marshall Faulk. Trent Green got hurt. Kurt Warner's first start was a preseason game versus Detroit, and he took the job and ran with it.
Yeah, to the fucking Hall of Fame.
And Detroit Lions versus New York Jets history. The two teams have met each other 14 times, with the Detroit Lions winning 7 and the New York Jets winning 7. Series tied 7-7-0. Hey, it's another team outside the division that we can't call our kid because they're even. It's amazing how many teams we've been even with. We've played them 14 times in the history of the NFL.
14 times? Jesus Christ.
I thought it would have been more.
And Jameson Hennessy, thank you for backing me up because I've been trying to say this for months. McVay's shit all over Goff because Goff said he would do McVay's girlfriend. Absolutely.
I'm sure he did.
And in all actuality, that meme was a joke. What got them in trouble is when she left her phone unlocked with a picture of her wearing her bra and panties that she sent to the quarterback of the LA Rams, Jared Goff.
Yep.
That's how the whole disconnect between McVay and Goff happened. And it happened after the Super Bowl, but before the 2019 season. And isn't it funny that they traded away two of their offensive linemen for mid-round picks that year.
Mm-hmm.
And then their O-line went from third in the league to 29th.
Yep.
Golf was tapping that.
McVay tried to ruin golf. Absolutely. I think he tapped it more times than McVay has because, a head coach can't be at home all the time. Quarterback gets days off.
Yep,
Just saying.
exactly. Golf was hitting that.
That being said, what a great game. It was great to watch, start to finish. The Lions never once trailed in the game. They
Nope.
scored in every quarter, including the lull quarter, when the Lions haven't scored historically since Billy Sims, the second
The
quarter.
third. I thought it was third quarter. I
No,
thought the third quarter
second
was a
quarter.
death quarter.
No, second quarter has been bad for the Lions historically.
Oh,
Third quarter was just with Stafford.
oh okay.
James Burgess, yeah, the behind the scenes stuff and curse caused it all out in LA stuff happens, such as Brandon Shanahan still being married to the former Miss January.
Fuck yeah, Brandon Shanahan. That's awesome.
We lost you there with the audio. Look, you look sleepy. It might be my internet connection. It isn't that great. Vikings remaining schedule: Indianapolis, New York Giants, Green Bay, and Chicago. Man, they don't have some tough games in there. I mean, Indy's playing a little better with Jeff Datterday as their coach.
Jeff Saturday.
Jeff Saturday.
I love Jeff Saturday.
New York Giants, you can't ever count them out. Green Bay is Green Bay.
Oh, that's what we wanted is Green Bay winning before we play them, but
Wait a minute.
it's not like we
And
can. It's not like we can steal the division. Well, oh no,
Packers
if they
remaining
lose,
schedule: Los Angeles Rams at Miami, Minnesota, and Detroit. I see two losses at least, if not three.
hey, Jeremy, if the Packers lose to both Green Bay and Chicago, we'd still be in place for the division, right? I'm sorry, if the Vikings lost to both the Packers and Chicago, we could get the division, right?
So,
The only here's how it goes: Minnesota has to lose out, and Detroit has to win out. Period.
Oh, to
And
get the
Detroit wins the
division. Okay.
division because then we will
Okay.
both be 10-7 because they already have 10
Yeah.
wins. They can't win another game.
Okay. No, I just didn't know if it was games in your division, if they lost out to both of them, if we would get it for games in the division. I didn't know how that worked.
They have also tied one time. Indianapolis Colts lead the series 18-7-1 for Minnesota. Wow, nice history
Yeah.
here. Minnesota Vikings and Indianapolis Colts have the two teams have met each other 26 times, including one postseason game. The Vikings winning 7 games and the Colts winning 18 with a tie. Wow.
I did not know that.
I didn't either.
Well, it's time for me to give my shout out to my sponsors, A1 Tire and Auto Repair and T&T Auto Sales out in Coquitlam on Old Coquitlam Road. We have A1 Tire on Broadway in Bay City, and we also have A1 Tire on Genesee Street in Saginaw, which is where I work. Great used tires at a great price and a great price on new tires too, and quality used tires. Check out T&T Auto Sales. They got some good stuff, including the Ford C-Max, which was only made in Canada. Why it's here, I don't know. But that hybrid is different.
Nice.
It's 88 miles to the gallon, and it's only $8,000 used with
How
less
many
than
horsepower?
100,000 miles.
How many horse?
It has about 200 gerbils.
That's it? Oh.
I was joking. I said it had 200 gerbils.
200
And
dribble
shout out
fast, however you cut it.
and a shout out to my other sponsor, Mad Lab Custom Creation. That is Dan Leonard's little baby that he's grown into a little business for himself. He does an excellent job of getting signed mini helmets and custom paint jobs on them. He'll even take the ones you have in your personal collection if you mail it to him, and he can do a custom drip, a rip, a flame, all sorts of good stuff. Check him out. And with it being the holidays, you never know. You might have a little football fan that would love to have one of those. Thanks to everybody in the chat, Grandizer, James Burgess, Jameson Hennessy, all of the Lions that was in the chat, Jared Goff, Aaron Glenn, former head coach Rod Marinara, because he still needs to be simmering. Uh, Matt Eberflus of the Vikings talking about how he's coming for us, but you already lost, so shut the hell up. Mike Valenti, Rico Beard, the hater, and the rest of the hating crew from '97 won the ticket. I love Woj. Go Wojo. This has been Kneecap Biting and Smoking Jeremy B. I had Daisy 80191 and Will Vogel talking Lions here. And a shout out to Taco Bell, an unofficial sponsor of the gas that I have.
TMI,
It's been a great show. Restore the roar, defend the den, and go Lions. And also, don't forget to fuel up with Mountain Dew. I do it every day. I'm 52 years old, been doing it forever, and I'm still at it.
And fill up with Jack Daniels.